Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 23 here of Court of Swords. Down below me, you'll see we got question mark man or lady. We don't know.
I love question mark man.
Yeah, or lady. You gotta.
True.
Yeah. We don't know who that's gonna be yet, so we're gonna roll with the three of us as usual, which is how the show kind of started out. We're getting back to our roots, so we're gonna run away from every fight. We're not gonna actually do anything. And yeah, so welcome back. It's the original Court of Swords. No, in all honesty, I have not I was at PAX this weekend, as well as Max and as well as Adam. But I have not put any thought or reached out to anyone to replace Sean, which is a very daring task to do in the first place. So
Yeah.
whenever that happens, you guys will be the first to know, as well as the cast will be the first to know. Well, they'll probably be the first to know, and then everyone else will be the second to know. That's usually how it works.
I would hope.
Yeah.
You'd find out before.
So that's just how it goes.
That'd be an interesting way of doing it. Like, surprise, this is who you're
This
doing
is
the show with.
like we don't even add the person till like right when the show starts to the call, and you're just like, oh my god, it's this person. Then we go live.
Yeah.
I should do that. That'd be fun. I couldn't do cameras
You're like,
though.
you're right. This is a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be rough. Well, let's get through the intro here. Max, you're at PAX. So was Adam. How'd you guys have? How was your PAX? Was it good? Was it fun?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How was yours, Adam?
It was great. It was great. PAX South is chill. I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing you can say about compared to all the other PAXs is PAX South is definitely the most lower key, which is not a bad thing either, because it's most of the time nowadays, like I go to these events to like obviously like meet people and viewers and stuff, but it's a lot to just hang out with friends and just see people that you don't get to see on the internet, that you've been friends with. But it's just kind of chill. San Antonio's pretty cool. I imagine if I spent an extended period of time in San Antonio, like downtown, I'd probably get sick of it.
Downtown's very different from the rest of San Antonio.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is that like the surrounding area in San Antonio, which is the case with most like major cities, like
Probably, yeah.
The locals will tell you like, yeah, downtown's okay, but you really got to check out X, Y, and Z and all that stuff. But
yeah,
super chill con. Checked out a little bit of games and stuff, but I don't really come to these things to play games. Really, if I get a little smattering of games, then I'm happy.
yeah. Did you ever get a chance to play the Switch?
I didn't. That thing seemed like impossible unless you had like an in, which I did not. It's hard enough to try to like.
We had multiple Twitch staff contact Nintendo and the people running the booth, and it was like, yeah, we just don't care. No, they can just stand in line like everyone else. We don't need them to preach our gospel because we have everyone else doing it for us. So.
Yeah.
Whatever. The people that played it said the controllers are real fucking small. So that's all I kind of needed to know. And I stood and like watched people play, and it's like that much of my phone for a controller. It is fucking small. They are so fucking small. And like the actual tablet is probably maybe a tiny bit bigger than this phone. They're small, man. I didn't think them to be that small. But it turns out everyone that they showed those demos of had really small hands on the fucking announcement stream. So yeah, I'm still excited to get my hands on one, but they're small as shit, and I hope I don't have cramps.
Ultimately, in those situations where there's a huge lineup and whatever for a video game, I always try to remind myself, you're going to be bored of whatever it is in 6 months. Like, it'll come out, you'll play it, and you'll be like, all right, cool, move on to the next thing. There's no reason to waste 4 hours to play 5 minutes of a thing you're going to get to play later.
It comes out in a month. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be no big deal.
Yeah.
It'll be no big deal.
After going to con after con and seeing like the new thing for each given year, nothing is really worth standing in line for like 3 to 4 hours. It's just not worth it
you
to
would
me.
stand in line for that if they announced like a new Elder Scrolls or something.
Okay. I would say
Yeah. I'd be there.
Dan would be there. Dan would fucking fly in. He'd get the announcement and be already booking a flight to fly to E3 to fucking sit in line the next day.
I would use every connection I have. I would be taking people out in the line. I'd
I'll rephrase.
Whatever I have to do to get up there.
Yeah.
It definitely is a case by case thing where like how important is the thing that you're that specific thing to you. Like if it was a new Mass Effect something or whatever, if I could get early peek at Andromeda, yeah, I probably would like.
I just can't think. I don't know. Maybe it speaks to the fact that my soul is a shriveled husk, but like I can't think of anything I'd be that hype about. Like
still, yeah.
Like like there's just at this point there's just nothing.
I think the extent of my waiting would be like 1.5, 2 hours.
I'll wait in
1.5,
line
2
3
hours.
hours at like a ramen restaurant or something, but not for a video game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I would like. What game would get me to wait in line for a super long time?
Would it be something Final Fantasy or?
No, I don't know if there's a game that would get me to like fucking wait in line. I'm trying to think of a game that I would like freak out and then escalate that to waiting in line, but I don't know of a game that would like make me freak out right now. Maybe like a Red Dead 2. Maybe if I got to like play Red Dead 2, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Red Dead
that'd
2
be cool.
would be one. Yeah, that'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get. It's very hard for me to get super into it. Like everyone's losing their minds over Conan right now. Just looks like Ark.
Yeah.
It just looks like a reskin Ark to me. I have no interest in playing that and grinding.
I'm gonna
like-
try it.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I really like Conan though. Like I'm not like, oh
Yeah.
my god, a Conan game, but it kind of like blindsided me. I didn't realize it was coming out, and then Sam was talking about it, and everybody started talking about it today. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Ark was pretty good. I'm more into Conan than I am dinosaurs. So
Yeah.
But
I mean, it'll probably be like every other game of its type.
It's
but,
the same grind, man. Like I'm watching people. They're like, well, how much iron do? Yeah, we need 600 iron for this fucking this like anvil. What's the anvil do? Oh, well, then we got to collect like 700 iron for this chest plate. I'm like, God damn it! It just doesn't sound fun to me.
There's nothing inherently new about any of those things, like Rust and Ark and Reign of Kings. Like you play them for a while and now you stick with them because you like the role play and you like the like we're building a thing together and like that whole kind of emergent thing. Or you're like, cool, I get it. It's hitting a rock with a stick for 4 hours.
It's crazy though. If you look at the sales of Ark on Steam, like the active user base is absurd for that. I don't know what those people are doing. Like maybe I'm missing like some fucking crazy ass PvP wars, but I'm pretty sure that most people are just playing that game and just fucking hacking away, just like they do in Minecraft, just fucking hitting something nonstop, and that's the game.
Yeah.
It's the RP stuff that I think I like. Like that's why I played Ark, because I was like, all right, we're gonna make like a funny, like, you know, our guys are like a drug lab and we're gonna make drugs and like sell them to their tribes. Like you make up. It's just like playing a role playing game, but I'd rather play a role playing game. Like,
Right.
To be honest, like
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly think that it's like in a lot of ways it scratches the same itch as D&D for people who've never played D&D or who are more comfortable with video games, because you're
Probably.
making a silly voice and you're playing the game and whatever, but it's just an excuse to interact with your friends or with strangers in a like in character way.
Yeah,
So-
that's probably true.
Yeah. But it's Conan. Conan things.
It is Conan. Dan, what'd you do over the weekend? You weren't at PAX. You were one of the. I don't know if
Yeah.
smart people's the word, but you just didn't go. You just weren't a visitor of PAX. We'll go with that.
Yeah. I've gone to PAX South twice, and it's just kind of really small, and there's not a lot to do there. Like other than the social stuff with friends, it's always fun.
Yeah.
But like the event itself is very small. There's not a lot going on with it.
Yeah.
And there's so many conventions now that it's like I
Yeah.
had to cut something, and this was the one I decided to cut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to East and
We're
then
going to East.
West.
Okay.
Yeah. Going to
I
East.
mean, it's a safe bet to start cutting them because they're starting to add on the other end.
They're adding more.
I guarantee Unplugged will not be the last one they announce in the next couple of years. Like they'll just keep tacking them on. So I think it's getting to the point where we can start to say goodbye to some of the ones that are maybe at the bottom of our priority list,
Yeah.
because there's always gonna be more PAXs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide. I don't think I'm going to go to East unless the sponsor obligation comes through, and then I'll go to East because I'll be paid to go to East, and my flight and everything will be covered. But like, I don't know. Being away, like traveling so much at the beginning of the year is kind of fucking shitty, especially when
Yeah.
I'm having to move, and especially when I have a live show 2 weeks before it. Like I have to do.
Yeah, man.
I have to do live
about that
show,
shit.
move 3 days three days later, do a 24-hour stream for the Switch, and then go to PAX, all in the span of like 14 days. So
That sounds awful.
it's,
Yeah,
it's real awful.
border guards are starting to wonder why I go to San Antonio so often. They're like, "What's in Texas?" I'm like, "Look, it's just that every month I got to go for the beginning of the year. It'll pan out later. I got some other stuff to do, but yeah, travel, jamming it all together like that is nuts."
Yeah.
Eventually there'll be so many cons and PAXs and E3s and whatever that you could theoretically like go to a con every month. So you gotta start picking them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what we've been up to. Did you guys do anything else besides PAX? Anything super exciting?
Not really. Live
Yeah.
a boring life. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I didn't do anything super exciting. I'm trying to.
No,
I started rewatching Buffy because Aaron had
Let's
never
talk
seen it.
about
There you go.
Buffy. Oh yeah, let's do it.
I'm almost done, or we're almost done with season 1. I think she's going to finish it on the plane today. So I got to catch up. But the first season it's real. Like I'm having some weird flashbacks to the 90s, man, because that show is so
that is
90s.
a 90s ass show.
It's very, very 90s.
Like there's an episode like episode 8 of season 1, and Giles, the librarian, is against computers, and this person comes in and like starts talking about how computers are like the next step of future and information, all this shit. And they start like categorizing and scanning all the books of Giles into the computers. So they scan this like ritual book, which has a demon inside of it. Then the demon gets scanned into the internet and gets connected to everything on the global fucking World Wide Web and starts taking over people by taking over their PCs. And like Willow gets fucking like into this weird instant message relationship with the demon, and I'm just like, what in the fuck is going on in this show?
I love
sounds
that
about
episode.
right.
It's
I love
so
that episode
fucking
because when it came out, right? Like the target audience for that show is Willow in that episode, right? It's like you're supposed to identify with Willow and be like, Mom, the internet's a real place, okay?
Yes.
Like,
Dude, they had a guy whose entire thing was just saying, yeah, man, I'm jacked in. It's not about real life anymore. It's about virtual reality. Like, that is a literal line from the show. And I looked over at Aaron. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right, but this was in an era in which no one understood. Like, we hadn't become acclimatized to the like total prevalence of internet in everything. So it was still very much like, you know, your mom and dad don't understand, but like the internet is real life, and this like cool cyber guy and your demon boyfriend. It's like
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're not
it's-
jacked in, JP?
No,
You're not jacked
he
in,
kept
bro?
saying it. He's like, dude, jacked in is the only way to live. And then he eventually gets killed. They eventually
Yeah.
just like slice his head off. There's a lot of it's also weird because it's like a high school, and then like every Tuesday someone loses a heart, and the school just
Yeah,
continues to
exactly.
operate, and you're like,
and
what?
that's what's so good about it, right? Is that it encompasses it's not like a current TV show in that, yeah, there's a thin thread that weaves its way from the beginning of the season to the end, but you can kind of, for the most part, especially early on, watch them in any order. It becomes more and more a modern TV show as you go on. But like in that early thing, it had to reset, just like an episode of The Simpsons at the end every time. So they had to deviate back to like, okay, things are back to normal. But I think that's they become more and more self-aware about it as the season goes on. And when they replace the principal with a guy who's like, what the hell is going on here? Why do people keep dying?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I haven't told, and people that have watched it know what's going on with that principal. But I looked at Erin, I was like, you want to know a big spoiler? And she's like, no. I was like, all right, never mind.
I did like that when it changed. Yeah, just like the principal was like, literally, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like, what is happening?
Thank you, finally.
Yeah, it's the reason, and I think I'm not on the darkest timeline by rewatching Buffy, because the reason that I wanted to watch, or the reason that we started watching Buffy, is because I was trying to watch Dawson's Creek.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I mean,
Jesus.
I could have been
You're
down a
just
much darker, deeper path. All right, with Pacey and Joey and all those guys and Dawson.
I never got super into Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, well.
It gets by
Yeah.
the end of
It's like Buffy, but without all of the cool supernatural stuff.
yeah, by the end of Dawson's Creek, I think everyone has slept with everyone about 4 times, and the fucking relationship circle just keeps going until the very end episode where then they just like do a gigantic fuck you to all the fans and put Joey with someone else that's not Dawson, and you're really upset. So it's not even worth it. It's like 8 years where it's like he doesn't even get the girl. So
Did you
I've seen the entire thing.
This is like going away from 90s TV show talk, but did you play any games at PAX South? And was any of them cool?
No. I talked to a bunch of people. That was
Yeah.
kind of fun. Me and Adam were doing the business stuff, going talking to people.
Yeah.
I love talking to people that are just like, what?
Okay, you do what?
You do what? And then
Dungeons and Dragons? Really?
and you want one of here's my card. I guess go ahead and email me. I guess. I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you.
Please stop talking to me now. I'm
Yeah.
confused.
There was definitely moments where it's just like, 5 seconds of silence because they didn't know what to say, and I was like, well, I don't know how to pitch this anymore.
I guess just go check it out. They could be watching right now. Hi.
Yeah. If they're watching, hello. And we didn't just make fun of you, but yeah, some people are just clueless to the whole like world of Twitch and the world of streaming and stuff.
It's the intersection, right? In that, like, there are a lot of people who, in the sort of Twitch space, this is less and less true as time goes on. But there are a lot of people in the streaming space where if you explain to them, like, yeah, my main jam is live Dungeons and Dragons shows, over VoIP with Roll20, they'd be like, what the, just what? Like, what are you?
Yeah, it's a lot of that's a lot of different stuff to digest if you don't know.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, like if you go to someone who doesn't really understand streaming or Twitch at all, but is in the tabletop space, like this is how Wizards of the Coast was like a year or two ago. If you went to them and you're like, check it out, we're playing your game, this is what's happening, we got this audience, they're like, what? It's on YouTube or is this a podcast? So it's starting to intersect, but
on the
there's
flip
definitely
side,
some fringes that's
on the
not
flip
there.
side, I did get Jerry Hawkins very drunk on accident, so that's cool. I got to drink with Tycho of the co-creator of PAX and Penny Arcade and all that stuff, and got way too drunk.
There you go.
I was just drinking my normal drink, and I think everyone at the table was like drinking as well in terms of staying on the same pace. And like 7 whiskey, what was I drinking? Whiskey sours. Later,
Yeah.
I
Jerry
didn't
like
get drunk at all. What was I drinking again?
Jerry stands up and he's like, I'm drunk, I'm going to sleep. And he just left. I was like, all right, great. Perfect. Have a good night. We'll see you later. And that was the end of that night. So it was good. I think overall I had fun at PAX. If I would have to travel, I might have had a different story. But because it's in the same
for you,
city.
it's like it's no big thing to just go downtown and go there. So that must have been nice.
Yeah, it was. We
Don't
drove back.
have to worry about traveling and doing like a connection flight to get back to your bed.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
We drove back Sunday evening, and it was about a 15-minute cab. So
True story. I just got back this morning.
did you get screwed over at a flight, or what happened?
No. I woke up. Me and Amanda woke up, and we were still pretty hungover because the last night we were drinking, and we could have made it to the airport. We could have done it. It's not like we didn't have the ability to do it, but I woke up and I just went from like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like I'm just hungover enough where it's just gonna be bad.
Wait, so you missed your flight to PAX, and you skipped your flight away from PAX. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes, but each one was tactical, and I was able to refund and rebook, so it was all good. All good.
Well, that's good.
Not a big deal.
As long as it wasn't like a fucking gigantic air bill.
No, instead of having like super stressful day in the morning, I was just like, fuck it, we're staying in bed all day watching movies. So we did that. We ate Ruth Chris fucking in room dining because that's what it is at the Grand Hyatt, and then just fucking we're fatties and watched. I did my first. Have you ever ordered a movie on demand at a hotel room?
No.
You ever done that before?
Nope.
I feel like a lot of people haven't, and it was a. Oh yeah, no.
So,
what did you watch?
on.
What did you watch?
We watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Again.
You can do that in the fucking. God damn it! That doesn't come out till like March or some shit on DVD.
Yeah, you can watch it. That's why I was like, you know what? I've never done this. I'm an adult who can do this now.
That's the thing. Max intended to watch that movie, but he ended up with fantastic breasts and where to touch them.
Fantastic she-beasts.
Yeah, exactly.
One click away,
Yeah, they're so similar. Yeah, I totally did it by accident.
Yeah, I don't have cable in my house, so when I go to hotels, I'm all about that trash TV. I will hit up fucking HGTV and watch houses be flipped all day. I'll fucking watch people go to war over storage lockers and shit. I will watch.
You ever watch
Guy Fieri?
Undercover Boss?
Yeah, I'll watch that shit too. That's great.
That's good.
It's all great.
Good stuff.
I love the trash TV when I'm traveling. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I kind of almost want to get a subscription to cable just to watch HGTV.
You just do Sling.tv. Sling TV. I'm sponsored. Yeah, I'm not sponsored, but that's what I did.
I had Sling TV to watch Preacher, and then they started selling it on Amazon. I was like, fuck off. I'm out. I don't want to use this service anymore. So
no, I got Sling TV. It's pretty cool. If you just want like your basic, like if you wanted like Cartoon Network or Adult Swim and your HGTV and shit like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Tiny
Yeah.
Houses. That's a great show. It's a fantastic show. All the shows are great. The best part about that too is every like HGTV show that we watched, Aaron like gave me the full details of what was going on, who these people were, what other shows they've been on, and if she's seen this episode or not. Because apparently she watches
Yeah.
a lot of HGTV. So
Fucking House Hunters, man. You can get in a rabbit hole with that.
dude, no, the
There's
best, the show that was on, and I don't know the name, but this guy gets lottery winners and then goes
Okay.
and takes them shopping for a house.
Jesus, that's interesting. I've never seen that before.
It's great TV.
Someone knows in chat. Someone's gonna get real excited in a moment and be like, "It's this one."
Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for
I
someone.
love
It's great.
HGTV.
Yeah, it's great. I kind of want to get cable to watch it, but they
Heard
don't
the
have
couple
it.
from Flipper Flop were having rocky times.
Really,
Yeah, that's what
really
they flopping. You know,
sucks.
they flopping while they flipping.
So listen, y'all got a lot of gold from the last adventure. Maybe you should invest it in a low cost
Well,
housing.
maybe we should just start
scam.
with that. How much are you guys giving to old Snidgy, the king?
I don't think we ever talked about that.
You guys got to talk about that now.
'cause
We
it's
need
your-
to know.
It's your call, right? How much
Look, you
gold?
guys, I don't have to do shit till you guys figure all this out. I'm just fucking hanging out.
God,
What if we just gave him like 20?
20.
Oh, cool.
You,
I understand your people have had horrible genocide committed against them. You're the
20
last
gold.
survivors of your race. Here's 20 gold.
Yeah, here's some reparations for you.
Good. That's
This
great.
covers it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can found a kingdom on 20 gold.
Well, what was the grand total of like
100,
all of the gold?
100 credits. I could retire on that.
Dan has that, I think.
Oh, it's split across so many different things. There's a lot of items that are valuable. Then there's gold pieces, platinum, silver, copper. How much is a platinum piece like in gold?
10 gold, I think.
Yeah, 10, I think. Yeah.
So that's 900. So
Dan, look, all I need,
yeah,
you don't know that I need this, but all I want is a rapier. All right? Just you give enough for a rapier, which is like 15 gold, and you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
And I
just
was
wanna
like,
have-
plate armor, right? That's what you were gonna say.
yeah, I just want some plate armor.
Plate armor is like 1,400 gold, isn't it?
It's like 1,200, I think.
Oh fuck me! Do we have enough for that for both?
We have like
We-
3,000 gold, dude.
I don't think you can wear it as a barbarian.
Yeah, you probably
Wasn't
have
that
the
where-
best.
You're limited to medium, I think.
Yeah. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
can
no,
get,
no. Plate armor is yeah, that's full on. Yeah, I can get like mail armor, scale mail, right? That's what I was wearing before.
I think you can
That's like
get.
200.
Let me look, Max, because I was looking at medium armor too last night.
Also, can you guys remember? We were trying to figure it out. Me and Ann were trying to figure it out. I definitely didn't have as much HP than I was supposed to. But do you remember if I ever rolled for my HP on Berg?
You didn't
I feel
roll
like the viewer-
last night or last week. I think you said
No,
you were
I know
gonna
I
take
didn't
the-
roll last week. I took the average. But
Yeah,
I'm saying
you're
like
at
ever on
39
Berg.
HP.
39.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know how. I think there was a mob that like took away from your max HP, and you never went back and like changed it. Because yeah, the overlay said you had 31 HP before last week.
Yeah. Apparently, I was hard moding like the last encounter, which is my fault totally. But
Yeah.
somehow he fucking lived.
Yeah. Don't blame Adam on that.
It does help though too that you go down to 1, like
Yeah.
and just get back up. If you get in
Everything
seriously.
added together is probably around 4,000 plus gold. So I think that we would give him at least a third of it.
Someone's
like
saying, yeah, I mean,
1,200-ish.
yeah, yeah.
1,200.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Like,
Yeah, we'll
be
give
honest-
him like a lot of the heavy stuff that's worth a lot, like the fine cloth, the vase, the mirror, the coffer, so you can trade that.
Yeah,
I don't
things
think
they
it
can
would've-
start a trade economy with. That
it wouldn't have
makes
made a lot of sense for us, like character-wise, to be like, yeah, we did this entire huge campaign with you. Now fuck off. It's all ours.
Well, like I was saying before, like the amount of gold that he takes away is going to affect the setting. right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
it'll affect
exactly.
it'll affect how strong his kingdom is to begin with, and that stuff.
So plate armor is 1,500 gold, at least in the book. That's the cost. So Adam's probably going to put a bunch of money on top of that, I would think. And then Max, the best armor you can wear is half plate, which is 15
plate?
plus dex modifier. Or if you don't want disadvantage on stealth, you can go breastplate, which is 14 plus dex modifier, but you don't have disadvantage on your stealth.
half plate, or you just said it, but what was it? Half plate or
Or breastplate.
breastplate?
Yeah. So that in its own self would be about 2,500 gold without at cost. So whatever Adam wants to charge for that. Plus you have to like find someone that can do that stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, need to find armor.
In either case, right now, I got.
Dan, did you
armor.
collect my money by the way? Because
We were going to, like, if you could tell me how much gold's on your character.
yeah, I'll copy that stuff over into Skype right now.
Okay.
JP, the HP that you have taken down for Berg, was that reflecting me taking tough? Because I remember I noted that I was going to go tough, and that gives me an extra 8 HP.
Oh, are you going to take tough?
Yeah.
It's not
believe so.
reflecting that. So then you have 47 HP.
Yeah, it gives you another 8, and then what? 2 more every time you level forever. Basically, after you take tough.
Yeah, I'll look it up here in a sec. Give
Yep.
my.
I have it here. So your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level when you gain this feat. So you get 8. Whenever you gain a level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 points. So now, if you don't roll, you'll get 10 HP per level. Does that make
Nice.
sense, Max?
That's pretty good.
That's not
Pretty
bad.
good. Yep.
Pretty solid guaranteed gold.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
8 rations. I didn't really.
And
have
then
that much stuff on my
tough.
character.
Does tough also give you a stat boost? No, it doesn't. Because some of them do. Some will give you like a +1 to something, but you're good. Oh, also, JP, I double checked. Your channel divinity right now is once per.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Once per long rest. Yeah,
Yep,
you got that. Okay,
changed
perfect.
it all.
Sometimes it's important to mention those things out loud in front of chat, so they know that I told you,
I
rather
got
than
you.
just telling you myself.
I understand. So Max, 47 HP right now.
Yeah, 47 HP. I did. A part of tough though wasn't, or something changed. Was it tough that changed the strength, or no? That was just like the extra.
Your strength should just be whatever it was when you rolled. Like you have no boost to your
Yeah, it
strength.
should be 16 strength.
It should be. There was something that boosted strength.
It was
I had
it
an
was
extra.
your potion, but then once it went away, your strength goes back to normal.
No, I mean I'm talking about like leveling up to level 4. There was something
You
that
could have the
No, it's
choice
one
of doing
or
it,
the
but-
other.
Yeah.
it's one or the other. Right. Okay. Well, so do I want that extra HP, or I don't really need the extra HP? Is the thing. And having that extra strength boost would be pretty good. I do currently have it reflecting the strength. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at 16 right now, just in case.
Okay.
If I don't fuck it up.
Well, make the decision, and I'll change the overlay because you guys still got to divvy up the gold. Adam needs like an answer on the gold.
Yeah, I just need to make sure. I just need to make sure I know for going forward how much percentage Tron has.
I had 39 before. I kind of almost just want to take the strength and then.
Cloth dice.
Yeah,
All right,
strength,
yes.
strength or HP. It's up to you.
So I'm giving him 4 items that are worth 1,000 gold combined. That each one's worth 250 gold.
Okay.
So that's 1,000. And then we'll give him the wolf face mask, which is at another 250 gold, so 1,250.
Okay.
So those items.
And then did he want a magical item? Did we found 3.
There's really no point in giving away any of your useful magic items. You're gonna want to hold on to those for yourself. He's not going on any adventures right now, so
Okay.
you'll be okay without.
That
Yeah,
makes
Max has
sense.
the Warhammer, and I'll use the spell thing.
Gotcha.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the strength boost, and so I'm back to 39 HP.
All right.
Mhm.
And you're
Okay.
at 18.
Because that's
strength.
already a pretty good amount of we're 18th strength.
So you're
So-
at plus
so-
4?
Yeah, +4.
So Dan, there's a lot of like coinage to lug out of this dungeon.
Yeah.
How much do you have?
We have
Let's talk about coins.
we have 1,200 copper coins, 6,000 silver pieces.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna get a total poundage of coins for you. All right.
Okay.
1,200 copper. Yeah.
6,049 silver,
Okay.
16 electrum,
Okay.
1,942 gold,
Okay.
and 93 platinum.
All right. So total weight, because it's 10 coins to a pound, I think.
And they also have that chest. Don't forget that, Adam.
Yeah, you can put it in the chest, but the chest weighs 930 pounds.
I
We
know.
gave the chest to him, so it's gone.
Okay, so you have a pile of coins that weigh 930 pounds. sans chest to carry them in. Okay. Now, if you want to, you've if there are any inhabitants of the dungeon and you don't try to like aggressively go after them, they've kind of withdrawn enough for you to get clear passage in and out. But that would require you going, like, you go to town, you could hire some people to come and like lug the coins out for you. It's a lot of coinage. So what are you gonna do with it?
Let's think. How much can an elephant carry?
That is a good question.
You know,
A lot.
It's like
A lot.
1,400 pounds or something like that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
an elephant. Your single elephant could, but the elephant's gonna have a hard time maneuvering around in here. So you'll have to get all the treasure out to the front, then elephant it back to town. Let me check if D&D has a specific weight for coins, because I'm going by the basic D&D count of this stuff. So that you might be able to get more.
Elephant carries 1,320 pounds.
Okay, yeah. So you're good.
I think what we would do is we would get all of the coins to the entrance of the cave that we came out of originally, the angels. And
here we go. It's divided by 50, so you're good. You don't have to worry too much about actual weight. It's just filling bags and moving coin that way.
Yeah, we'll like make makeshift bags out of clothing and find pots and stuff anything we can scavenge around the place and just fill them with coins and then haul them to the front and then get it on the elephant and then take the elephant to town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Is anybody carrying like bags and stuff?
I think we'll each carry as much as we can comfortably hold in our bag, and then the rest will go on the elephant.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So I guess then, Berg and Azrael, the nearest town to where you guys are is the town Berg where Janice like murdered everybody. So I don't know if you want to go back there or you want to go all the way back to the monastery.
So here's the thing. I remember. What about that wolf mask? Can I just wear that? They have no idea, right? I'm just strolling up.
They gave that to Sean. You guys gave it to Snidgy.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greedy forest bastard.
You could, yeah. Your options are, there are a few towns. Let me get the names of the other towns, because there are towns you haven't been to in the Shulin Valley. Let me take a quick look here. Basically, the two main settlements, like if you want to offload or store or bank any of this stuff, you're going to have to go to either Mungvat, which is the fortress town where Kukrit last saw you, Berg.
Oh, Kooky.
Or you can go to the north side of the valley where Azure Vortex came from and visit the monastery. You can go to Baya, but if you go there, you're gonna have to. It's a little bit of a longer trek, but I mean, I feel like. Well, I mean, Berg's not going to go to Kukrit, where he last saw Kukrit. I feel like that's stupid of him. Mm-hmm. He's stupid though.
Or
returning directly to your slave master is probably a bad call. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably logically we'd probably go, even though it's the longer trek, we'd probably try to go to where Azure Vortex came from.
Wasn't your original mission to get the orb thing that she had to him?
It was.
Like you could try to find the orb and then bring it to him, and then maybe he'll be happy. That's another option.
Yeah. Didn't that go in the water?
It's in the water, so you'd have to try to find it.
Yeah, the orb, as with the ring of yore, has been swept away by the current and has vanished. So you can't just jump in and like fish it out. There's a heavy current there, and it's.
What the fuck is the ring of yore?
It's around, like the ring. There's this. Okay, so there's this old story. Maybe you've heard of it, about a hobbit. And he gets his magic ring, and he has to carry it to this mountain and throw it in the. You haven't heard that story? Yeah, weird, right?
Can you tell the full 9-hour, 10-hour story real quick, Adam?
Yeah,
in 20 seconds or so.
I'll do it. You be Enya. You sing in the background for me.
Okay, got it.
So anyway, all right. So it's been swept away. So it's around, but it's not just like lying in the cave for you to go get.
Yeah. We'd probably
heard a call
magic
to the waters.
Yeah, Smeagol's got his hands on it now.
The ring seduced Berg.
I guess the safest option would be to head to the monastery versus going back to the place that wants you dead, or at least
No,
wants you back.
yeah. Berg's dumb, but he's not that dumb.
Right.
He knows how to stay alive. So yeah, I guess we'd be heading to the monastery.
Yeah, and Azrael, your purpose, I mean, you're without purpose, right? Like you were meant to safeguard Raziel, and Raziel has died and passed on beyond the barriers of life. So maybe you're a little aimless, but I guess my question is, you part ways with Persnigatron, you load up your marble elephant, and then the plan is to head to Baya Monastery.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost, and Bowder went quiet after the death of Raziel, and I don't know what to do now, and I'm just sort of.
Oh, you actually cared that I died? Is that what you're saying?
I've gotten visions of getting my justice through you, like something was going to happen, and I would be able to take down the Mara, and you were going to lead me to them, but that didn't happen.
Gotcha.
And now I don't know what's happening. When I level up, what I do is it's different than just a normal rest. I sit and I meditate for about 8 hours in front of the sword, and the sword, it's not so much that it's teaching me as I'm remembering things from the divine soul inside me. Like most of it's locked away, but when I level up, I start getting memories and flashbacks of things that's happened in the past, and I saw this vision of a battle, a great battle of probably me in a former life where there's just a field of fire and these angels battling against these horrific beasts of darkness. And I saw myself swinging the sword right into the heart of this demon beast and critting it. And then as soon as I did that, I was able to make a second swipe at it again. And then I saw another lesser being and I swiped at that. And then once I did that, I was able to swing at another one, and then that reminded me of this technique I had in the past, and now I know the feat of Great Weapon Master, where I can use that in battle.
Cool, I like that. That's awesome. That you're like Samus at the beginning of a Metroid game. You're like recovering your abilities.
Yeah, I lost it all, and I got to recover.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Wait, so I just want to, Dan, do you have 3,496 gold? That's what by what you told me earlier, that's what I think you have.
I'd have to convert everything, but yeah, I have 93 platinum, 1,900 gold, 6,000 silver, 1,200 copper. I got to get someone to exchange this coinage to down to gold or something. But yeah, I got a lot of different coin pieces.
Yeah, you have 3,500 gold.
Yes, that should be more than enough to buy us what we want if they have it up there.
Right,
well, they have wares if you have the coin.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Not spoken in Khajiit voice. They talk like this.
So I think you've just said goodbye to Persnigatron Torbisher and the last of the forest gnomes. They've headed off out into the woods to find a safe place to begin resettling the secret parts of the forest. And you've got your piles of gold, and you've got this marble elephant statue. What are you gonna do? You know, like there's a command word in ancient one of the ancient languages of the world that you use to activate it, but we haven't seen you do this yet. It's like mid-afternoon. There's still light coming on a sharp angle through the trees, and the two of you, I assume that you're coming out the entrance that Azrael you went in. You don't want to go like all the way back up into the hill. Right?
Yeah, we're going out the tree entrance that we came in.
Okay, yeah. So there's the ruined temple that covered the entrance where you fought the demons, and you're standing out in the sun dappled clearing, and you're holding this like elephant statue.
I go out and find a clearing, enough room for this beast to appear. I set it down on the ground, and I start uttering the command word and start backing away as I'm incanting the phrase. And then all of a sudden, the figurine starts to jerk and like starts to shine and then starts expanding and growing until it finally appears to be this giant elephant.
Yeah. And the elephant, it's clear from just looking at it that it's not a mundane elephant. It has this smooth white and black like marbled surface. It's ivory tusks, so this like perfect white capped with gold, and its eyes are this sort of deep garnet color, and and it rears up. And trumpets loudly and stomps on the ground, and then blinks its big placid eyes a few times and just kind of regards you calmly, flicking at its hide with its big floppy ears. Just kind of like turns its head to look at you.
I pat it on the side of its on its ear and I'm like, "Good boy. We have a great journey that we need your help with."
Yeah, and it understands the things that you say and lives to serve, and so it just stands calmly, kind of looking around the forest.
That's a good elephant.
It is a good elephant. It's true.
Good boy.
It's true. These sorts of items are often crafted by a wizard who would like have raised the elephant from a calf until it was an adult and then sacrificed it as part of the spell. Not in a cruel way, but in like freeing its spirit to become this more perfected form. This elephant could be, tens of thousands of years old, for all you know, but it is just like, in effect, just an elephant. Though an especially long-lived one. There are things that it has seen that even the Tianxi have probably forgotten. So yeah, the elephant is here, and you can like load him up with your sort of makeshift saddlebags. And you go to get set to. Are you gonna leave now, or are you going to are you gonna like rest and
we should definitely
the night?
definitely rest, just because if Berg still has his exhaustion, that's 2 points of exhaustion that he still fucking has.
The elephant, just as a quick thing.
How long does he last?
Yeah, it can become. We can have you transform him like right before you leave, but you can become an elephant for up to 24 hours. So we can say you would have rested, and now this is maybe instead of afternoon, it's morning the next day. If that works.
And what's
No, Adam,
Right,
fuck
early
that shit. The words were uttered. We're fucked. The elephant.
Okay, shrinks back down. You can't change it for a week. You gotta sit out in the woods.
Like, all right, now let's go, and you just hear. It's just like,
Yeah.
well, shit. No, I would imagine we rested, and then that
So
whole
like first light
craziness.
we set out.
Sure. So the light coming through the trees isn't the light of the sunset. It's the light of the sunrise. So it's coming from the other side, and the day seems like it's going to be a clear one. And I don't know, like, Berg, what's on your mind as you emerge with this stranger? Your friend slain in the dungeon. Azure Vortex, like her blood is still like on you. There hasn't been a stream to bathe in or anything.
Berg's not a man who has like crazy complicated thoughts, but he's usually a little more lively than this. Berg is actually quite like shell shocked and just like in his own head, which is very odd for him because he's a tough like fucking giant dude, like, and he's seen plenty of battle and lost people and never really gets attached to anybody. But for some reason with Azure Vortex, like she literally risked her life and gave her life to let him live and let him get away, and that's just fucking with him really bad. Like why did she why did she sacrifice for the likes of me, so that's just kind of something he's mulling over. He's dragging bags, he's doing these the mundane tasks of like loading stuff onto the elephant and making sure that he has his gear, inspecting his new sword or his new hammer, warhammer.
So when you're in this place, this sort of like place of quiet reflection, as far as Berg gets it, from the outside, are you walking around like someone who's like deep in thought, or are you going through the mechanical processes of loading a pack animal like a slave who has been trained to do what he's told, right? Like, what is your body language like when Azrael looks at you? Does he see a noble warrior whose spirit is broken, or does he see a slave who's been whipped into submission and is just falling back into that attitude?
It's more the latter. It's more he's just going back to his roots, to what he knows. He's going through the motions, but he has 1,000-yard stare, and he just, in his mind, he just keeps picturing, the moment when he felt her life force leave, and just echoing out that bellow, and then squatting and kneel down next to like, you know, her basically just legs or like, you know, the blood splatter by the
stain,
by the river. Yeah. And that's just fucking with him. It's just like flashes and shit. And maybe every now and then you see him like as he's doing stuff, if Azrael's paying attention, you see him like twitch a little bit, like, you know, like his eye or something like that. It just, something's not right. and it's not sitting well with him, but he's trying his best to just do the tasks, move forward. You're alive.
So we see Berg through Azrael's eyes, right? Azrael, you see this half orc. Obviously, you can pick up that he's been at some point in his past. He's been enslaved. Everything about the way that he's acting now shows you that. And I guess my question for you, Azrael, like, do you believe that there's a reason for everything? Do you believe that heaven guides the destiny of all those who move on the earth, or do we get to make up our own stories?
I think that Azrael believes that the heavens make a rough outline of life, and life can sometimes deviate from it, but there's a grand plan that the heavens have for Earth and all the planes, and we can make some changes to it, but for the most part, most of the most important parts of life are preordained by the gods themselves.
So have you had time to stop and wonder why the world is working the way that it is, like what plan heaven has for you? Because again, like Berg, your friends have been shuffled back into the wheel of fortune, onto their next reincarnation. You're stuck here with this like clearly escaped slave. You still got the bracer on. If you had to guess, like why the heavens would have done this, what would you think?
It's such a hard question, because while there is great horrors and awful things that happen in life, there's still there's still healing magic and wonderful music and prayers and things that are good in life. And even though there is all this evil, there is a lot of good too. And it's hard to know, like, maybe I'm only seeing a very small part of the world that is evil, and there's much more greater good out there that I just don't see, because it's all like concentrated in this valley. So maybe I don't have enough reach in my sight to see beyond the evil around me. But like on the whole, the gods are good and just, but they're not perfect, and they don't guide life as minutely as we would like sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And those are the things that are running through your head when, Berg, you're tightening a rope around the elephant's waist, getting a makeshift bag to stay in place, and and Azrael, you're looking at Berg. The elephant makes a nervous sound. And kind of stamps gently in the dirt, and Azrael nudges you with the side of one tusk to try to get your attention. And when you're jarred out of your reverie, you look across the little clearing, and you can see pipe smoke drifting up from the long wooden pipe of a traveler who has wandered into this little area. He's dressed in a strange monk's outfit, right? Not like Volnox or Azure Vortex, something similar but different. And he has a big, like a shading hat, like a rice farmer's hat, but it's not bright enough out right now, so he's not wearing it. It's just kind of hanging on his back. He has on his neck and on his hands, you can see he's got his sleeves rolled up, these strange, kind of old, faded, sort of sailor-looking tattoos. And and he's got a long ivory and wood pipe clamped in his teeth, and he's just watching you pile up your elephant.
Do I recognize him as the person we saw at the edge of the crater?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'd recognize him at a glance. Yep.
I smell the pipe smoke, and the thought of where I last smelt that smell just pops right back into my head, of the crater and of Raziel. And I look over there. I just mentioned to Berg, look over there. Have you ever seen this person before?
Just to check, Berg hasn't, right?
Berg, no. The only place where his path and Berg's path intersected, Janus was the only one.
Yeah, he wasn't the only. That's what I thought it was, right? Berg, yeah. The bird just looks in the direction. Is like,
No, this is strange. What is
I've
that
seen-
smell?
He likes to smoke some fancy tobacco. I've seen this person before. He was very interested in my companion Raziel. I don't
I've
know what they
smelled this
spoke about.
tobacco before.
you see Berg freak out for a second internally, like this smell is triggering something in his past, and he just does not like it. He's becoming visibly uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Do you recognize the smell?
The masters. My masters smoked that. This smell brings up unspeakable horrors. I do not trust this man.
I love you, Max. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm like frantically making a note so I don't forget it. So yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing. It brings back some very bad memories for you. But when you look up, I mean it's obviously not the same person.
Yeah.
But there is that, like in the back of your head, your hackles are up. And he's just kind of hanging out in the shade, just like watching.
I decide to approach him, and I'm like, "What? Hello, stranger. You're back."
He, as you walk over to me, he looks you up and down and says, "Oh yeah, Max, if you don't already have inspiration, take it for sure." He says, he looks up and down and he says, "I could say the same for you, friend. I did not expect to see you come out of that dank hole. Certainly not alive, though. Only just the two of you left."
Yes, that cave was and still is full of horrors and evil that I can't even describe. Death lurks in there heavily.
And he kind of like cocks an eyebrow at you and shakes his head. And he's like, no, not death. Death is a chance for a new beginning. Death is entrance into the cycle. These sorts of things, they are something worse.
Worse? What do you mean?
He shrugs and he looks at you and says, there are worse things than death in the world. You must know this. Your friend knew it. I think he is experiencing them now.
Which friend is he referring to?
He's referring to Raziel, for sure.
Raziel? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he knew the risks for tampering with that magic.
He nods, and he looks over at Berg, and then to you, and then to the cave, and he says, "So what will you do now?"
For the first time, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know where to go. The only lead I have is to follow my companion here. He needs my help.
He nods and he smiles, and he steps forward to like put his hands on your shoulders. Do you flinch? Do you back off, or do you let him?
I back away as I don't want him touching me.
Sure. Okay. So
I have a hint that it's not. I don't want his help.
Yeah, he puts his hands up like he's just pipe climbing. He puts his hands up to like touch you, and you back off, and he kind of steps back, and he laughs, and he says, "Smart. That must be why you survived." And he looks over at Berg and he says, "The two of you have an opportunity now. You are at the beginning of something. You have turned the card from death to the fool. Embrace this. Where do you plan to go?"
We plan to go someplace where we can unload all this stuff. And then from there, I don't know where.
He nods. "So the monastery then. I think this one still has friends in Mongvot who are looking for him."
Why are you here?
"Why is anyone anywhere, my friend? Destiny. I go where I am called."
Your words are empty.
He nods. "This is true.
Can you tell me something, stranger?
I can try."
What is it that you want? You always seem to appear, give small bits of advice, then vanish. What is it you're after?
He shakes his head. It's not about what I want. Not anymore. It has not been for some time. I go where I am told. We both serve a higher power, you and I.
I serve the fountain. Who do you serve?
He grins and shakes his head, and he says, "Trust me, you don't want to know. We're not enemies, Azrael."
But I don't think we can be called friends either.
He laughs. He's like, "You are wise. Good, good. Keep an eye on this one." And he looks at Berg. He says, "He's going to need you. Something is
Yeah.
waiting for you in Baya Monastery. Go quickly."
As much as I don't wish to trust you, but I was heading there anyways. Perhaps you're right.
But I'm going there because I want to go there, not because
Yeah,
you
I
told
was
me
already
to.
going there. Okay, I'm not.
Shut
it's not
up.
your decision.
We know where we're going, okay?
Yeah, and he says, he says to you, he says, it's funny. Normally I'm put where I need to go so I can witness something, but I seem to have missed all the fun. Did you leave something behind down there?
We left many things behind. Our friends, their bodies. Some trinket that this girl had. I don't know what it was. There's many things still down there. What are you referring to specifically?
He shrugs. I don't know. Just a hunch.
Are
I think
you,
I'm going to go and have a look. And he kind of hikes up his belt a little bit and taps his pipe out on a tree nearby.
Are you hinting that perhaps we should go back and find something before we leave?
He shakes his head. No, not back. Always forward.
Right. Well, if you happen to find anything that could be of use to us, I'm sure you can find us.
Oh, I promise you, anything that I find will not be of use to anyone. This valley, she has many problems. Well, he looks over at the hole leading into the darkness. He's like, well, good luck, you two. And he looks over the elephant and he says something in a language that neither of you understand. And the elephant seems to understand it and kind of if it's possible for an elephant to look kind of surprised, it takes a step back and its eyes widen a little bit and he pulls his hat up and sort of tips his head to the elephant and walks towards the hole that you emerged out of the night before.
I don't like it.
I say, one more thing, stranger.
Yeah, he stops.
I don't know why I'm asking this, but I have a feeling you would know. Can they be killed? And
He looks at you and he says, anything born can die.
I
And
guess that'll have to do.
Yeah, he turns around and heads down into the dungeon.
All right, Berg.
The elephant looks a little spooked. It's kind of backed up a little bit and is kind of not moving around a lot, but shifting its weight and blinking a lot.
I go up to the elephant and I pat it on its side. I'm like, what's wrong? I know I can't speak to it, but just tell him it's okay.
Yeah. It nudges against you and kind of nuzzles you, and you kind of pet its trunk, and it kind of slowly calms down. It seems to be glad that this guy isn't around.
Don't worry,
As
he's
is
gone.
Berg.
Berg also needs pets.
As the dude, I guess, descends into the hole or whatever, Berg, you can see him visibly getting a little more relaxed, but still keeping an eye on that hole.
You okay, my friend?
That man, that one is not to be trusted. Ever.
Well, trust me. I picked up on that a long time ago. I don't trust a thing he says, but I don't feel he was here to harm us today.
If we live, never see this man again. I guarantee it.
I have a feeling that this man is a very important player in the game that we're a part of.
I don't know what part he plays, but a dangerous one at that.
It's a dangerous game.
I'm ready to leave when you are.
If you're ready to set off, my friend, then let us be on our way. We have a long journey ahead.
Yeah,
I guess we start getting on the elephant to start heading towards the monastery.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we see you head off into the woods, and on your way to Baya Monastery. You probably get like a long crane pan up through the trees. We see the foggy surface of the valley, and then off in the distance, the silhouette against the resin.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that since I have that magical thing I can fill with spells, so we took a long rest and hadn't used any spells, I filled it with 2 thunderous smites and a shield spell. So that's what's in there. Just for future reference.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Great.
Also, if you want some visual just to leave off on, Berg's like as he's loading up, he grabs some stuff and some random odds and ends of things that he's trying to figure out whether or not to leave. He comes across a sketch that Volnok made of like the camp, like all of them together, like when they were there, just like the state of them in the dungeon. He looks at it, just throws it to the ground.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, and that's the last thing that we see before we go out to break.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, let's take our first break. Still got 3 hours left to go here on Quarter Swords Week 23, so don't go nowhere. We will be right back with more. We'll see you then.